Hi, welcome to OpsMx Argo Rollout automated analysis demo using OpsMx ISD autopilot tool. Before we get started, I want to give you a little brief description of what is the tool about and what problem does it solve. There are multiple progressive deployment options available in Argo CD or Argo Rollout to essentially ensure that when you do a new rollout, you're reducing the blast radius of a bad release. So the strategies that are typically employed are blue, green, canary, or rolling update or progressive deployment. So blue green is about when you release a new software, you shift the traffic 100% to the new version, you do an evaluation, and then when if the new version is good, then you can then you can kill the old version, and the new version becomes the baseline or production version. The key is when you divert the traffic to the new version, you want to do an analysis. You want to do a fast, quick, reliable analysis to prevent any errors and failures in production. And that's where we come in with our autopilot solution that allows you to do these analysis post deployment to ensure that the new release is good. So that strategy you can use as a candidate deployment. Here, you're minimizing the deployment risk by not shifting 100% of traffic as in the previous case, but also maybe a 10% of your traffic to the new version. And then again, you're doing an analysis. Again, you need the analysis. Automated is better to identify issues faster. And once you're comfortable with the new version, then you can shift all the traffic to the new version. This is called a candidate deployment option. There's another variation within out of Argo Rollout where you can actually, instead of going from, let's say, 10% to straight to 100%, you actually do multiple steps. So in this case, I am showing you where you can do 25, 50, 75, 100%, or four steps basically of stepping traffic versions to the new version and then evaluating at each of the steps to make sure that the version should be moved forward or step forward or roll back. And this is very important again to do this analysis. As you're doing multiple analysis for multiple releases or multiple times a day, having an automated analysis and decisioning is very important. So what OpsMx provides you is an integration with the Argo rollout that is performing the different types of blue, green, or canary strategy deployments. It observes the application during the deployment and compares to the baseline and analyzes the risk based on the baseline and the learned data from the past. We look at both log and metrics. For metrics, we look at statistical analysis and perform some statistical analysis and use machine learning to identify the relevant weights and metrics to give you a proper understanding of the new release. And we also can look at the logs using natural language processing and automatically process the log messages to identify errors and warning. We connect with a lot of data sources that you may be familiar with, I mean, log and metrics data sources, so that you have very variety of choices. And we integrate directly into the Argo rollout so that you don't have to do anything to do, especially once you've done we will show you in a second in the demo, the analysis template is part of the Argo structure, and you're able to really get it as part of the native Argo workflow. So the way you do it is you define the rollout strategy as you do today, you define the steps, and then you also specify analysis in the desired step. Maybe you want to analysis every step or only some of the steps. And then you specify the analysis template, what kind of analysis you want to do, how long you want to do, and also specify log and metrics templates, if we call it metrics templates, to help identify the issues that are specific to your application. So you provide your default templates that you can use out of the box, but you can also modify the template to suit your application specific need. That's it. Once it's done, every time you perform a rollout, you get an automated analysis as part of the progressive delivery. So these are the files that you see here, that templates and are defined in the Argo rollout Argo application directory. And then when you do the application rollout, you do the analysis and you get a report like this. You can look at the consolidated risk scoring, both the logs and the metrics are analyzed for you, and it's available for you to use. And that's all. Let's get to the demo, and thank you for watching so far. All right, let's get to the OpsMx ISD autopilot demo for showcasing how we do automated analysis of Argo rollout. Here's an application in Argo that has a rollout defined. And if you look at um, the this file, the rollout.yaml in the Git directory, you can see that it is calling for canary strategy of rollout, and it has few steps in it. For example, there's a step which sets away to 25% and 50, 75, and then all the way to the 100. So basically these are different steps within the rollout, basically a progressive rollout. And we have specified. We talked about in the previous slide, previous section. We talked about adding an analysis section, and then specifying the template that will be used for performing the analysis. So you can specify this analysis during every step or only some steps. Let's go back to the page and look at the template .yaml that specifies the type of analysis you want to perform. So as you can see, this is that template, and it specifies who's going to perform the analysis. This is where you specify our ISD autopilot tool that you're running. But you can also specify what is the score you think is passing score, for example, how long you want to perform the analysis. You can specify all of them. You can also specify the metrics template that we'll use. Metrics templates are key to help you do analysis of the logs and the metrics more quickly and more accurately. They provide a bunch of default templates, but also you can modify those templates to get you closer to the application that you want to evaluate. Here I'm using both the metrics template and a log template. That files are actually specified in the same directory. Let's go take a look at them. There's a metrics template. Again, it is connecting to a Prometheus data source. You would see that here that your account name is a Prometheus data source. This is Prometheus account that we're talking to. And then we are looking at a few metrics parameters that you want to evaluate in this case. Container memory usage, container CPU usage, and etc. So you can add more as you want, but this is sort of the default, let's say, that's used here. And you can also look at the log template, which is another template that's here that specifies some of the existing, it's an Elasticsearch. It's talking to Elasticsearch first. And also you can specify what are some of the strings that you want to look out for and what kind of topic or category of error they are. Out of memory error is typically critical, but you can specify other things or remove things that you don't want. So now that you have done the configuration, now if I go back and change the rollout.yaml, you would start the rollout. So in this case, it's a .2. I'm going to change it to .3. All right, let's change it to .3. I'm just going to do an edit here. So let's change the version to trigger the rollout. It's .3. So I'm going to make it .2. Change .2. Let's put some comments in there. It's a rollout demo, and then hit commit. So once it's done, it's now changed. Now, if I go back to Argo, essentially, if I do refresh here, now that we know it's out of sync, let's do a sync to trigger the rollout. You can obviously do an automatic sync that will basically make sure that you can, it'll automatically get triggered. In this case, we'll do a manual trigger. So now it is syncing, and you can see the rollout has started. So you can see that the rollout is going through now. The weight is set to 25%, and it's going through the various steps. You'll go through the 30-second of pause to make sure that the containers are stable, and then it will trigger the analysis that we have set up. Again, if it passes, it goes to 50%, and then again a pause, and then another analysis, and then we go to 70%, and so on and so forth. So basically, we have, in this case, 3 analyses, and we ensure that if it passes the 70%, then we can go to the full 100%. So now that the analysis started, as you can see here, the analysis has started. It's running right now. The status is running. When it is done running, you would see that you have the report available. Because we want to show this quickly, let me show you the previous run. This is version run 30. but you can look at the previous run that's successful. So if you click on this report, you would go to our, the report dashboard that shows you the the report. In this case, there are no errors that were found in the log. That's really great news. The log score is 100. And then metrics also pass because all the metrics that we have defined were successful. Now, this is good that the new version, well, there was really nothing, I didn't change anything. So there was no issues found. But let's take an example of a version that actually failed. So in this case, this is an example of another application that has more errors and warnings. So in this case, log is 0 actually, and metric 60%. Why is log 0? Is because you have all these errors found. These are unexpected or net new errors found in newly that's not in the baseline. A lot of critical errors that has caused it. You can obviously change the ones that is there to a new categorization if you like, and they'll be stored for the future use. And you can also look at the metrics. Again, it shows you different kinds of metrics and maybe potential failures in the metrics. Each of the metric that you have, it can tell you there's some latency, potential application latency that's significantly different between the baseline and the new release. And that's it. So you essentially, every time you run Argo Rollout, you would see that a report is getting generated, and you will see report is generated. You can obviously, if it fails, it'll stop the rollout. If it passes, again, just like this, it'll roll forward and complete the full rollout. And that is our demo for OpsMx Autopilot to help you with Argo automated analysis, rollout analysis. Thank you for watching.